Hello and welcome back to Perspectives. My name is Jonathan Thiede, and today we have a treat in front of us. We have our 3 residents with us to talk about our residency program. Today we're joined by Allison, Kennedy, and Anna. How are you guys doing?
So good.
Really good.
Yes.
Yeah, glad to have you on Perspectives in place of Ashley and Kurt, who normally host this. It's nice that we get to talk about the residency, talk about this journey that we've been embarking on. Before we talk about the residency, I'd love for the listeners and the viewers just to get to know you guys as people. And so why don't you just give your name, sort of your background, where you came from, and then your area of ministry.
Yeah, I can start. I'm Allison. I am originally from Wisconsin, but I don't really like cheese. Fun fact. But it's fine. Yeah, so I'm from Wisconsin. I don't really like cheese, but I went to...
Oh, just in case people didn't get it the first time.
Yeah, just so you know.
Yeah.
But I just graduated from Liberty University with a major in youth ministry. So that's kind of what I'm doing now in student ministry. Well, not kind of. It is what I'm doing now in student ministry. So yeah, I'm just excited to be here.
Yeah, nice.
My name is Kennedy. I'm born and raised Pittsburgh, PA. I just graduated with a degree in early child education from Duquesne University. But then I kind of felt the need to pivot. The Lord called me to that. And so here I am at Orchard Hill in kids ministry. I had experience with urban impact ministries during the summers, and I really enjoyed that. And I felt called to this. So here I am. I kind of found this residency just by Googling, and I found out about it. And so here I am. I interviewed back in, probably more than a year ago at this point. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's crazy it's surreal to be here finally. And so yeah, that's kind of how I found about this residency and this ministry. And so yeah, I'm really enjoying my time so far in kids ministry here.
Yeah. My name is Anna Tomasetti. I am the worship arts resident here at Orchard Hill Church. I graduated from Grove City College in May, as you all know. And I graduated with my degree in English. So I kind of felt the Lord calling me into worship ministry my junior year of college, and just through different life things that were going on at the time. I found Orchard Hill. I was an intern here during Kids Fest, but I wasn't part of Kids Fest 2 summers ago. But I was doing the worship arts thing, playing piano and serving at different campuses on weekends. And then Dan Shields gave me a call about the residency my senior year of college. And I was like, okay, that sounds like a great next step to kind of figure out what ministry is, what it's all about, and what that could look like as an actual job. So yeah, I'm excited to be here. I'm learning a lot, and you guys are just fun to be with. So it's good.
Yeah, so our residency is a 1-year experience for people primarily in the postgraduate world where they can get some ministry experience. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about what a residency is, and then maybe what does it actually look like on the day-to-day? Because it's easy to talk about it from a high level, but just give us a sense of that.
Yeah. So for student ministry, it kind of just depends day to day. Just because in different seasons we have different events and stuff going on, but I feel pretty much Wednesdays we have our small groups at night. So just kind of during the day prepping for that, just reading the material, getting ready for all of that, putting in slides online, getting music ready to go, just kind of preparing for that. And then we have small groups at night. But yeah, it really kind of just looks different for me every single day, what I do, just between planning for events or we have snow camp coming up, preparing for games for Merge. Yeah, I think it's just kind of different every single day.
Yeah.
In kids ministry, it definitely varies as well, but we do have a pretty consistent kind of theme. During the week, it's a lot of lesson planning for the weekends. Obviously, in Kidsburg on the weekends, we teach the kids a Bible lesson, and then preparing games for that, and just also preparing crafts as well. That definitely takes some time, and just obviously, of course, meetings. So for kids, Lydia Shield, she does early childhood, and Brittany Vaught does K-5, and so I'm kind of shadowing both of them and kind of going through that process and seeing what it is they do specifically in those sectors. And so I just got finished shadowing Lydia, and now I'm moving on to Brittany. So a lot of that throughout my week is just shadowing them, meeting with them, kind of learning how do they schedule volunteers, how does PCO work, the organization that we use, and online services and everything. So yeah, it definitely varies, but I would say that's a pretty consistent experience for kids ministry.
Yeah, for worship ministry, it's a lot of like hands-on stuff. So every single weekend, I'm at a different campus. Right now, I'm in Butler primarily, and then I'm in like the main location at Wexford, like once a month or so. And it's really great because you get to know all the different volunteers across the campuses. A lot of them move around week to week, which is maybe not something that everyone would know. But yeah, just like getting to build relationships with those people and like build my own like musicianship has been great. And then I also have like book studies that I am doing with some of the worship staff here. So we're reading, just like a book. We'll go through a book during like for over the course of a couple weeks and talk about it every week. There is like new songs to learn, and I'm learning Ableton right now, which is the software that we use to build our live sets every weekend. So yeah, that's complicated but really cool, and I'm excited to learn more about it.
Yeah, so a big part of doing the residency is sort of seeing what it's like to work on a church staff for a year. I think in my mind, that's what sets a residency apart from just like primarily an internship, is that we really think it's important that you guys have responsibilities where you can say, this is what I'm doing for the year. I think it's one thing to want to do ministry generally, but I think you find that out not necessarily by taking some, an online quiz or something like that, but actually by doing the work and seeing, okay, is this something that God is calling me to? Switching gears a little bit, I think, I direct the residency, so I know the answer to all these questions. But I'm trying to think of what would be most interesting people listening to this. And I think one question is just like, where are you guys living? How does that work?
Yeah. So Allison and I live in the Blue House, and it's
branded.
Yeah, right.
It is.
Capital V, capital. Yeah. But it's a townhouse that the church purchased literally like down the road from the main campus. I think our commute is like 2 minutes, maybe that on a bad day with traffic. But yeah, it's great.
The two left turns,
right?
Yeah, 2 left turns.
I
Out of the
think about
driveway.
you joke, but I think I feel for you guys every time I pass by. I'm like, those are two really tough. Anyway,
Yeah.
I have a unique disdain for Brand School Road traffic. So
No, it is.
I feel for you guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
fall was really rough with like all the sorghels. So
Yeah.
I was like,
man.
I can't
Yeah.
even like leave my house. But
Yeah.
it was fine. It's all good. But yeah, it's great. It's furnished fully, which is wonderful. Super kind and generous. It's been great. And we get to have like girls from our small group over for like we're having like a Valentine's Day thing soon. But yeah. Excited. But
Yeah, my husband and I, we live in what's called the Brick House. I know that was kind of Orchard Hill storage place, from what I've heard.
Hopefully not experience.
No. They fixed it up. They renovated it. It is so nice. Like, honestly, really beautiful house. My husband and I live there, as I said earlier, and we also have a pet dog and a turtle, so shout out to them. So yeah, we really enjoy it, and I literally get to walk to work. Like, it's so convenient, so nice, and so it's just really nice that, because I know that for me personally, like, I probably wouldn't have been able to do the residency without that opportunity. So the housing is a really, really great pro to it. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I mean that's the thing when we were building this program. It's like we want to eliminate those reasons. You go through. It would be tough to start interviewing people and then to discover the reason. So trying to figure out, okay, what could be the hangups, especially someone coming from outside of the Pittsburgh region who might not have family local. It's like, well, I've been in that situation where you move to a new city and it's like, man, I don't know what area of town is good. I don't know how this works. And so let's just eliminate that by getting you a house, right next to the church. And so that comes up when we talk about like the cost of the residency. It's not just the staffing cost, but it is, there are all those details. But we really do believe that this upfront investment will just yield fruit going down the road, and we'll get into that in a second. Is sort of why would a church go about this? Allison, I have a question for you, because you didn't answer that last round, so can't get away. You gotta spread it around.
Yes.
My question is going to Liberty. So you and I went to Liberty and attended their ministry fair. We're trying to find the next round of residents, essentially. What do you think is the state of like residencies in churches? Like, do you think that there are actually more residencies now than ever?
I would say, yeah. I feel like just with how many churches show up to like the ministry fair every year, I feel like, yes, I feel like there's so many residencies. I think the biggest thing is like most of them are going to be down south where like the churches are bigger and they can afford to have like so many residents. Whereas like up here, a lot of the churches are smaller. And even more so like in the Midwest, like in Green Bay, in Wisconsin, in Minnesota, like all up there, like you probably will not find a residency just because like the churches are smaller. And yeah, so I think there definitely are significantly more than ever.
Yeah, definitely. That was my take when we were down there and just going to different churches. And I think a residency is a wonderful thing, and it's one of those things we definitely don't disparage competition, because it just means that people are getting a sense of like, hey, I want to create a space for these 22, 23-year-olds who are coming in. And yeah, that kind of weaves into my story. I did a similar program about 10 years ago, and I just can't believe in the past 10 years how much that's evolved and changed. And makes me feel old, because when I did it, we could just call it an internship, and so now it's like fancy. It's a residency.
Yeah.
It's like you're a doctor or something.
Yep.
And you are a doctor, in some ways, a doctor of souls. So take me through, so just thinking through, if someone were watching this, what kind of person would do well in a residency? Like what kind of person would they get here and say, okay, this is a really good use of my year and my time?
I think primarily someone who is able to like self-pace themselves. A lot of the like, I don't know about like you guys in your fields, but for worship arts, a lot of it is like you get assignments and it's like you read and you do the project and you like get things done. And it's more of like a looser schedule than like, I mean, obviously there are like deadlines, but yeah, just like being able to budget your time well on your own. And the other thing is most people in worship arts have like some kind of ADHD. So like being able to like focus on something and like know your strengths and weaknesses in that area is like very valuable. So
this feels like a separate perspective. I'm like trying not to ask you.
Well, because you have to juggle so many things at once.
Yeah,
so like
gotcha.
it makes sense, and but it's like it's fun. It's a good time.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I would definitely say anyone who's willing to learn. There's so much to learn. Orchard Hill is obviously a very big church, or at least from where I came from. And just seeing like all the people you get to meet, and especially obviously whatever focus of ministry you get to pick, whether that's kids, worship arts, student ministry, communications, whatever the other ones are. There's definitely a lot to learn from the people that you're with. And so if you're willing to learn, and if you want to figure out if you want to go into ministry, what that looks like or what setting of ministry, I think that's definitely that could be anyone. So I think, if you're definitely willing to challenge yourself and to walk alongside people and have them encourage you and kind of train you up, then I think this is the perfect thing for that type of person.
I feel like they kind of covered everything that I was going to say, but
Well, cool. So one piece I wanted to cover, we talked about the housing. We're kind of bouncing around here, but another part of the residency is seminary experience. So what do you guys think is the value of that, doing one class in the fall and one class in the spring?
I think it's huge. I think it's really important. Just like, even if you've taken like a systematic theology class or you've taken like the hermeneutics class, I think it's like a really good refresher. And then also just doing it alongside like other people is like a huge learning opportunity. And I know like, especially with students, like they have a lot of questions about theology that like you wouldn't think that they would. So just being able to like really dive deep and understand it better and like do it, and then have a student ask you a question about it like the same day or the next day is like huge, and it's really important.
Yeah, God is definitely in those details. It's like, thank you, I just learned this.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, I would also say it's really nice, as Allison said, like we get to do it together. And also I know like right now we're currently taking the systematic theology course, and I know Orchard Hill has a systematic theology course. So not only do we get to have these conversations with one another, but also with the staff members. And just obviously there are people here, like you have your Masters of Divinity, we get to have these conversations in our resident trainings. And so it's really powerful just to be able to expand that discussion outside of just like the conversation with the three of us, and also get to learn from staff members and people who have been through seminary before.
Yeah, I would just echo what they said.
Yeah, nice. So, Kenny, I'm glad you touched on that, because in addition to seminary, the four of us meet twice a month, usually on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month. And and we just sort of talk through different things that it's important to know about ministry. I like that. I like the structure of our residency because you guys spend the bulk of your responsibilities time working on different projects, a lot of the things that Anna does would probably be even difficult to describe to the other two, right? But I like that we get to come back and sort of talk about those things. And one thing I've really enjoyed, you guys mentioned sort of living together and having that sort of communal experience, doing seminary together. I just think that just bonds people and makes for unity. So how have you guys experienced that with one another? Do you feel like you guys clicked pretty quickly? Do you feel like it took time?
I mean, I feel like we clicked pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's just me, but no, I enjoy spending time with you guys. Like because Friday is generally when we're most free. Like we'll go thrifting together or like get coffee and like hang out as friends, like not just as coworkers, which I think is just super valuable and sweet. Something I was definitely praying for like prior to the residency, because during like the internship, it was like pretty lonely not having anyone else like going like doing life with me in my like age group. Because a lot of the Kids Fest interns, like they're great people, but they're just like at different life stages than like a junior or senior in college. So yeah, just being able to like have like shared life experience and also just like being on the same page and new to the same area, like in different ways because you're like out of state, but yeah, just that was really special and like such a beautiful provision from the Lord. Yeah, I'm really grateful for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say something that I really appreciate and was so powerful was the opportunity to share testimonies. Like, I forget what resident meeting that was, but it was very early on.
Yeah, it was our
And I
first
think
one.
that definitely set a good foundation for us to get to know each other, just know each other's past and like what the Lord has done for us. And so I feel like that definitely really propelled us getting to know each other in our relationships. And as Anna said, like we're not just residents together, we're friends together and living life outside of this together as well. And so it's just really beautiful to have them to walk alongside me with this journey. And I'm sure that they have that too. So yeah, it's just really great. And yeah, I'm really appreciative of that opportunity.
Yeah, I would agree with everything that they said.
Yeah, a specific Allison question. I'm
Yeah,
thinking of.
yeah.
But no, I mean, I think you guys touched on a lot of wonderful things. One thing that is, though, I think the worst thing would be for you guys to get to the end of the year and just feel like used up. Like I did a job, I was a worker, and now I'm going to do something else. So because of that, I wish I could say there was some wisdom and logic behind this, but at the beginning of the year, I approached you guys about leading a young adult connect group. We have a young adult ministry that meets on Monday nights. And to be fully transparent, I just needed 2 female leaders. So I'm like, we have 3 female residents. Surely we can get 2 out of 3. And you guys have just taken off with that. And I've really enjoyed just seeing you guys lead and grow. So what would you guys say is the value of that, of almost, do you think there's value in being sort of forced into it at the beginning? Like, or do you think, that would have happened, naturally? Was that something, I guess, you were looking for, like a young adult group?
I feel like, yeah, for me at least, just because, like, not being from the area, I don't have any friends here. So I think if I would not have been forced to, like, be a leader, I feel like I would have just gone with, like, the other staff people in the group that was already there and
People you already
established
knew.
that I already knew.
Right.
So, like, this way I'm able to, like, get to know so many different girls and just be able to connect with them. And I feel like there's a different level of like when you're a leader, like you should be investing in them and wanting to get to know them. And I think that's really helped me like build relationships a lot faster than if I was just a participant.
Yeah, definitely. What about you guys?
You go.
Sorry. I would probably agree, team introvert. I would definitely, I feel like when it comes to certain social situations, sometimes I might be more social than others, but for the most part, I'll just stick to the people that I know. So I appreciate that opportunity just to be able to branch out and get to know the girls. And I would say like the girls in our young adult group, like we have truly grown like such beautiful relationships with them. Yeah. And as Anna said, like we try to do events like monthly, I would say about, and it's just been really great to see, like, again, walk alongside them. Like, I don't think that that's something I would have experienced had I not been asked to be a leader and step up as a leader. So yeah, that's just very special and definitely a part of this experience as well.
Yeah. I've really appreciated the opportunity. So like I lead not monthly, but like quarterly, seasonally, like worship nights for the young adults group. Yeah. So that's primarily where like my leadership, I think, is in the young adults world. But I've loved being able to like plan that and build a team of volunteers, like specifically just young adults. Like that has been so cool, to be able to like sew into them and just like have them like kind of just be, and a lot of them like aren't necessarily on like Orchard Hills worship team either. So just like that's so exciting to be able to build that and see that grow. but also just like during group discussion, like I love like settings like that. Like talking about the word, talking about our lives, and just like how we can be praying for one another. Like that's something that we were like in one large group and then we like split into two. But just something that God has been growing me in is like being vulnerable with like other believers, and like this is like something I really need prayer for. And so like the young adult group has been such a beautiful like avenue for that growth in my own life, and also like I've seen growth in other people's lives, like just being here since like September. So it's been like really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So we've covered, when I pitch the residency to people, especially like in an interview setting, people say, what is this? I usually talk to them about responsibilities. We covered that. That's what you're doing on a daily basis. We talk about education. That's the seminary. That's us getting together twice a month. But then the other piece that I think is really critical is relationships, and that is the Young Adult Connect piece that we just talked about. But another thing, so that's something I just ripped directly from my own sort of internship residency experience. Was I look back on that 10 years later, and there's still a lot of people I keep up with. There's still people I reach out to who at the time felt so much older than me. They were probably 5 years older than me at the time, 27 when I was 22. But it's really cool to look back and see, oh, now we're peers and we're in this together. So, just talk about that. Like, is there anyone on staff, whether it be Emily, who's kind of taking you guys under your wing, or Lydia, any of these other women, or just anyone on staff that you feel like, man, they have really been my sort of go-to person? Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Definitely Emily D'Angelo.
Okay.
Love you, girl. Yeah, she's been wonderful. She does like a bi-weekly Psalms Bible study with us, and like she's just so full of wisdom and graciousness, and we like pray together after it, and it's been really instrumental having just like a really strong woman of faith, like praying for us actively, like sowing into us relationally. She's just so sweet and like just like a great person anyways. So yeah, that's been lovely.
Yeah. I definitely want to give a shout out to Brittany. She's definitely taken me under her wing. And it's just been really beautiful to see, like, even on Fridays on my days off, like we'll go out together to get coffee somewhere, get brunch. And like, I told her I really haven't had a chance to explore Wexford much yet. And so she's kind of taken that chance, and she's like, okay, let's go antiquing and everything like that. And so it's just been really cool to see her mentorship. And then obviously as I get to see it out at work and then outside of work as well. So yeah, I just really appreciate her. And she's just really shown up for me in ways that I just, in my mind, I guess, limited. I didn't think that I would get to know someone so deeply on staff so quickly, especially because even like last semester, like we definitely just clicked really well and very quickly. And so that's just been a really beautiful like relationship that has grown, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So with student ministry, Fish, because I'm doing more middle school, he wanted somebody that was like around who could like mentor me in a way, but like wasn't fully connected with middle school. So he set me up with Tara, and so I've been like getting coffee with her and just hanging out with her, and she's been like really great, and I feel like we connected really well because we're like pretty similar in personalities. So it's been really nice to have somebody like her to just get to know and just talk about ministry with, and just like talk about life and everything, and she's been really great. And yeah,
Definitely. Well, yeah, thanks for sharing. I mean, that's something that is on our heart, to make sure it's a good experience, to make sure that you guys build relationships and feel like you're growing in those relationships. Unfortunately, we are running out of time, so I want to land the plane talking about value. So I want to start by talking about the value for you guys, and maybe even the hypothetical person who might be watching this and thinking through, should I apply? Should I do this program? So what has the value been for you, and what then would be the value for anyone in your shoes?
I can go first. I think part of the value is literally just like getting experience under your belt. I had a lot of experience in college of like being on a worship team and like leading things, building sets, all of that sort of thing, using Planning Center. But like even if you've had experience with that, but you're not like fully sure how that's going to work in an actual like day-to-day job, like there's so many other moving parts to like a worship arts team. And just like even like learning about like the value of the other like pieces, so like tech and camera crew and like videography stuff. Like there's just so many other like moving parts and pieces, and learning how those all fit together to like glorify God and like bring the congregation together in just like praise and glorification of the Lord. Like that is so special, and something that brings a lot of life and joy to me, and that's very valuable. And also just like growing personally in your faith. Like there are so many opportunities for mentorship for you, like as a resident, and then also for like other people on staff to like pour into you as well, because part of like the Christian walk is not just being mentored, but also being able to mentor, like pouring out as you're also being poured into. So I just love that Orchard Hill provides those opportunities as well.
Yeah, I would say that this has definitely been a very valuable experience, and it will continue to be. When I mentioned earlier that I got experience in urban impact ministries, and that was nonprofit ministry. So I think it's definitely been very valuable to experience church ministry. Obviously, there's different settings in ministries. And I think it's really important to kind of, depending on, because I feel like I'm not someone who knows like for sure, like I know I want to do kids ministry, but what setting that is and what that looks like. And so it's definitely been valuable after experiencing nonprofit ministry for like 5 or so years, now transitioning into that experience of what church ministry looks like. And so I would say, just like learning what the ins and outs of each day are in each week, and even the semester and like month by month, it varies so much. And so it's definitely very valuable just getting that experience and just kind of seeing like how it functions and what a year in the life of like a kids ministry director looks like.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like definitely, like they said, just getting to know like what you do on the day-to-day. I also think like for me going to Liberty, I had like a lot of head knowledge about what student ministry was, but I don't think I was able to really apply it. So I think this was like a huge, just being able to apply it and really understand like how to do it well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for sharing, guys. You guys answered the value for you guys part, so I'll answer the value for the kingdom and for the church part. And I think there is immense value. I mean, the short-term answer to why start a church residency is staffing, right? In the past, if you have a lot of staffing needs, you're just kind of at the mercy of the internet and just saying, okay, I'm going to cast a wide net, and you get these people apply and they come into Pittsburgh and you don't really know anything about them other than what they present in the interview. And so this is a great way just to be a little bit more relational, a little bit more intentional about different staffing needs that come up. But the second reason is the more important reason in my mind, which is I'm just going to read 2 Timothy 2:2. Paul writes to Timothy, "And the things you have heard me say in the presence of many witnesses, entrust to reliable people who will also be qualified to teach others." So, Anna, that's kind of that chain you were talking about, kind of the opportunity to be invested in, but to also invest in others, I think is a really beautiful thing. When we were building this residency program, I went to the church that I did this program at in Cleveland. And one thing that one of my old mentors said really stuck out to me. He said, this is really what the church should already be doing, right? Like you don't need to call it a residency program. It doesn't need to be institutional. You can do this no matter how big your church is. It could be 100 people and just, hey, why don't you come along and see what I'm doing? But I think the more that we can have an apprenticeship sort of approach to our residency, the better. The more it's a combination of head knowledge and also getting to do it with your hands. So. Well, just to wrap things up, thank you guys so much for coming on. Just a few details, if there's anyone watching this who's interested in applying. The most important thing that's on people's minds is, yes, this is a paid position. I can't believe we went 25, 30 minutes without mentioning that. These ladies, it's not just the housing, but we also pay a stipend on top of that. And so once again, just trying to eliminate any of those reasons why someone might not want to do this. We've tried to build it in a very intentional way to be able to be sustainable so that you're not super worried about that kind of stuff. And I should also say that this is open to men because sitting with 3 ladies, we did not plan it that way. It's just, in some ways for our first year of residency, it's been a happy accident. It's been really cool to have you guys to be able to bond so quickly. Sometimes I think it'd be kind of weird if it was just like, one guy hanging out with the 3 of you. It's like there's, it's probably bound to happen, honestly. But for the first year, it's nice to kind of just see what it's like. But yeah, for anyone watching, if you're interested in applying, go to orchardhillchurch.com/residency. There you can apply. It only takes about 5 minutes. The application really just starts the conversation, and you can expect to hear from me within the week to schedule your first interview. So I'd highly recommend anyone who has any inkling, any interest in ministry. Maybe you feel like God is calling you to this. Maybe you're just interested in seeing, okay, what could this be like? I'd highly encourage you to do that. What I always say to the residents is that this year is all about clarity. It's a win if they get to the end of the year and they feel like, I have clarity whether or not I want to be in ministry. And so just want to throw that out there, orchardhillchurch.com/residency. Hope to hear from you soon. My name is Jonathan once again, and we've been talking with Allison, Kennedy, and Anna about our residency program at Orchard Hill. This has been Perspectives. Until next time.